Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Farm Sim 19, Last Frontier, episode number 15. Both fields are now ready to harvest. It's noon. We're going to knock out the small field first so that while we get started on harvesting the big field, we'll actually be able to use Courseplay, hopefully, to get work on the small field done. I have not laid out a course on Courseplay, so I will need to do that before we get started on that phase of things, but this should be a pretty quick soybean harvest. Now, this series, I might have mentioned this before, this series will eventually come to an end, even though I'm actually really enjoying this one. But that end will be related to the release of another map, which is Little Norton. So I'm watching out for the time when that is coming. And then we'll be moving on to that one when that release is ready to go. But for now, I'm still really enjoying this map. I love this map so much. I really could spend a significant amount of time on here, which is really surprising because my other series, Sandy Bay was my favorite map, and that one's just not having the same effect that this one is for me. There's just so much creation available for this one that is such a neat feature that you just don't find on other maps. Likewise, like Little Norton, I've moved on from Sandy Bay. My multiplayer series, along with my father, for us, we are waiting for Bucks County to release, but the Sandy Bay series just kind of headed nowhere, and therefore decided to go ahead and save the production time and move on from that map. No swath to worry about here with the canola, and therefore we'll be able to kind of go straight into cultivating. I need to check though if plowing is necessary yet. We have done, I think, 3 harvests on this field now, so it is possible that we will need to plow as well as cultivate this time. Turn point a little bit there. We're at 13% on the soybeans now. We are definitely getting a better yield than we have in the past with the weed spraying that we've been doing. That's keeping the field clear. Though our fertilization is still just basic. We're getting 1 round of fertilization in, and that's it. So we are far from maxing out the potential of that one, and that's a piece of equipment that we'd very much like to get soon. Speaking of piece of equipment to get, we're now approaching 250K. We're only going to need another 20 to 50 in order to get that second tractor, the more powerful tractor. Which will make life so much easier than working with the old Fendt that we're working with now. So hopefully in the next short while, and by short while I mean between this harvest and the other harvest, hopefully we'll bridge that gap, receive enough funds from the soybeans and whatever it is I'm growing on the other field that we'll be able to get that tractor. And maybe, even if we don't, maybe we grab something out of the silos so that we can reach that point, because we need to get that second tractor on the go, improve our turnover rate on what we're doing here. %, or just about. This field is just so small. I really feel like I need to open it up a little bit more and expand this field now that we own 25. And maybe if we are required to do plowing, we might do that. And at the same time, we might even hop into the landscape manager and at least carve this first section of road out. But this field lacks in size so badly that it would almost be better to turn it back into grass. Than leave it as is. Or do as I just said and expand. The only problem is you've got that rock formation right there, meaning there's not much of an expansion area possible unless we go around that rock and work our way partway up the hill and make a bit more of an oblong shape to this. Shape to the land, shape to the roadway that I'm wanting to put in, and at least tripling the size of the field to make it worthwhile. And I'm not opposed to that, because we were looking initially for 25 to be a field, up to 3 fields. And at this point, because of the value of the grass, we have done nothing with that. But now that the grass is cut, again, if plowing is required now, this would be the time to make that change. And not to turn that into 3 fields, but to carve out a piece of it and make that for this field. So we've only managed to get 35%. We might get a couple more percent going through this time, but there's not much of this field left. Now we got to 36, and that's it. Okay, just put the pipe out a moment ago. Alright, so I'm going to transport this over to the other field. And actually, I could start the harvest with Courseplay, which is already set up on that field. While I first take care of selling the soybean. That would be probably a good use of our time. We could then turn off Courseplay once I have the other fields set up and ready to go. Oops. Let's get this first little piece here. This is canola. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on Courseplay. Making sure to take full advantage of our opportunity here to cash in and make certain we get our second tractor. I have opted to go ahead and right from the get-go take the soybeans, and along with what we have in the silo, which is a lot more than what we got from that tiny south field harvest, we'll cash in on that. Now, Courseplay is actively working on the north field right now with the harvester. It's filling up relatively quickly, so I can't spend too long away from it here. We had just over 2,000. We just added 15,000, so there is far more, 7.5 times what we had loaded on already that we are now taking to the store. This, I would think, should be enough. Let's see, soybeans is definitely one of the better paying crops. With an 80% truckload, you gotta figure that that's gotta have some value to it, right? Alright, go ahead and take the cover off, and we'll be ready to tip here in just a moment. Oh no, not nearly enough. Just shy of 16,000. Which means really we only got 2,000 out of the harvest. That's pretty sad. Throw that cover back on, fix our view here a bit. And we're gonna head back now. Trailer's empty, so I'll be able to drop the trailer over by the north field so that as it fills we can get it emptied, and actually maybe while Courseplay is going we'll empty it first and foremost, pick it up wherever it's at out on the course. So we're starting from zero as we then drop trailer and run off to set up Courseplay for the south field, but also we'll need to check to see the state of the field, whether it needs that plowing or not, before we get into that, because we'll be then tracking into something much larger. We're still shy minimum 8,000 where I want to be for the new tractor. Plus we're probably going to need seed and maybe fertilizer, all that kind of stuff before. So really we need more than 10,000 even. Okay, it looks like it's almost back. First headland cut out. Looks like it missed a little spot here. We'll wait for it to turn that corner and then pull up beside it. Relatively good time to join up with it. Now we'll see the capabilities of Courseplay. Will it pipe out as I pull up beside it? Yes, it will. I'll have to watch the rate of fill to see what it slows down, because once it gets empty, it's just going to keep unloading. Okay, there you go, pipe in. So that's 2,000 already. So we've already matched what the other field did in one headland. Of course, this is canola, that was soybeans. Totally different animal, but aka crop. But still, let's shut this puppy off for a moment so we don't waste any fuel. And I'm going to take a look. Okay, it's been harvested. Okay, I know you need lime. Apparently does not need plowing. Yeah, doesn't say we need plowing. Zero fertilization, zero weed. The issue being line. Okay, well, no plowing necessary as of yet. So I think what I'm going to do here is we'll drop the trailer, we'll drive over there. Back over to the other field. I'm far enough around here that I might as well just go around this way. And let's take a quick glance at 27 while we're here. Got an extension of this hill, but I would exploit this for grass early on. We've got, let's see, I can see 4 trees that we would definitely need to remove. We've got this patch in the middle, but I would mow around it. I would want to remove these trees here. Those trees are safe, that's off the edge. I'd go around those 4 trees if they're on the field. They're close enough, I think, to the edge that we would just, yeah, you can see we're close enough to the edge of the field. You're lining up the other one, those trees would be safe. But these 4 trees below, we would definitely want to take those out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you just make your way around that grouping just like we make our way around the other grouping. Okay, we're at the field edge now, so this is the field edge. So we definitely wouldn't want to sacrifice the grass around here. We would just go around that. There's a few down here that would definitely need to go. I think this one would be okay. It's close enough to the edge. Use it as a bit of an edge marker, but those other ones, interior ones, makes maybe a dozen trees that need to come out so far. And then these guys, the trio, maybe I keep those and just wrap around that. But the others, there's another trio there, actually. The individuals are the ones that you'd want to have gone. I'm off the edge of the field now, so... Oh yeah, these ones would definitely stay. There's the lake. We'd come all the way over here to the edge of the lake and then make our way around these. There are individual trees that I would definitely want to bring down. Up to a dozen, maybe as few as 8. And then a few groupings, especially the big one, we would keep for now. Let them be. But it really wouldn't take much to clear the bulk of 27 for a grass harvest. And then we'd actually even be able to get here into this area of 26 a bit and get back to mowing this for a second time. So yeah, we wouldn't need to bring down that many trees to make 27 work. Now, we've got two options here. This is such a small field and it's not time for plowing yet, which means all I need to do is cultivate and seed and move on. So that is such a quick, easy job. Why don't I do that myself? As opposed to messing around with course play on a field that's just not there yet. It's not ready. Keep an eye out for course play notification about the harvester being full. I'm sure that's going to happen before I finish this field. You know what? It'll take just a second. Have I? Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it. Okay. Well, let's not spend 5,000 now just to inspect the field. Then again, I can still inspect the field a little bit. Fertilize 0, weed 0, growth harvested. It needs lime. But yeah, it does not say it needs plowing. The map did not lie. So I took a lot of additional time there with scouting field 27, which again is only an $85,000 purchase, and compared to field 25, what we earned that first harvest on 25 was $140,000. We cut that down to what, $100,000 the second time. So, looking at that field 27, you got to say that's at least 100,000. Couple areas that we'd have to, go around and avoid, but otherwise, it's the full field. So, I'd say it's probably not 140 max. It's probably only about 125, 130 max with the avoidance of trees. But I'd say it's still at least 100,000. So it would pay for itself first time. And one thing I would be able to do... Well, no, not quite. We're not quite there yet, are we? I was going to say, one thing I'd be able to do is use both tractors. This one with the windrower, the other one on the mowers, and use Follow Me. And save ourselves some time, save a step. But I don't think I'm quite to that point of buying the tractor and buying the field. We might be. I mean, we're certainly going to earn a decent amount of money on 26 North from this harvest. Enough so we're obviously we'll have the tractor, but when you include expenses on replanting, not quite sure where we'll fall at. I don't think we'll have an additional 85,000. So we might still be a little bit off on purchasing 27. Well, we're just about out of time on this episode, but what I'm doing now, cultivating and harvesting 26 North, that can all happen pretty quickly if I use time-lapse. So let's go ahead and finish this video off with a time-lapse. I'll do my outro now, so we can just time-lapse straight to the end of the video as we finish up replanting 26 South and we harvest 26 North. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Though you have a few minutes ahead of you, I'll say bye for now.